Whether you like it or not, Birmingham City are the champions of League One, which means next season we are going to be playing back in the Championship. Now, don't you worry about us getting relegated, because that is not going to happen, because we are going to be pushing for the top half. And then give it a couple of seasons, maybe give us 1 season to settle, like I said, get top half, and then we're going to be pushing for promotion. So, big things are coming. But in today's video, I'm going to be looking at the squad that have helped us achieve this wonderful record-breaking season. And I'm going to be doing the ins and outs. I'm going to be saying next season, when we get into the Championship, who should go and who should stay. We're going to go over the whole squad. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, before I actually jump into the squad, I'm only going to be going over players that have played this season for us. So the players that are out on loan, I'm going to go over them at the end. So it's only players that have played for us this season that I'm going to be going over. But without further ado, let's start off in the most important position on the pitch, and that's the goalkeeper. Now, obviously, Ryan Allsop has been absolutely unbelievable this season. It's quite amazing that he actually started the season as number 2 behind Bailey Beacott-Farrell, and we'll get onto him in a little bit. But yeah, Ryan Allsop's, I think, only conceded 6 league goals at home all season, because obviously we've only conceded 11, and I think Peacock-Farrell conceded 5. So yeah, Allsop's conceded 6 all season, and he's been playing for like basically 7 months now. So that's very impressive. He has got the most clean sheets in the league. It's a stupid one. He's obviously going to stay. So Ryan Allsop, keep him. Bailey Peacock-Farrell, again, when we signed him, I was happy. You know, he's a good goalkeeper. I saw a lot of stuff of him when he was young at Leeds and Burnley and stuff like that, and I was excited. I thought, you know what, we've got 2 actual good goalkeepers to keep us in this league. When it got to a few games in and he was making a few mistakes, it was a little bit annoying, and like I said, he was technically number 1 choice ahead of Ryan Allsop, but it hasn't worked out for him. I think he's lost his confidence. He made a few mistakes. He's not very good with the ball at his feet, and I'm going to be honest, when we go up, unless we send our 3rd choice goalkeeper out and keep him as 3rd choice, I'm going to get rid. Brad Mayo, he's our young goalkeeper, so maybe send him out on loan if we get, you know, sign 2 goalkeepers. Ryan Allsop's going to be number one choice goalkeeper next season, let's be honest. So Brad Mayo, if we sign 2 goalkeepers, send him out on loan. I don't think he's played for us this season, maybe only 1 game for us in a cup or something. But yeah, I'd keep him. He's a young goalkeeper. What's the point of getting rid? So that's the goalkeepers out of the way. Let's move on to defenders. Starting off with right back, and probably the funniest and, I don't know, most energetic player at the club, Ethan Laird. Now, Laird last season, he was a little bit injury prone. Again, this season, he's started off the season with a few injuries, but ever since that game at Wigan away, he has been on fire. He's been absolutely amazing. I'm very confident next season, going in the Championship, that he's our 1st choice right back, and I think he's improved massively, like I said, since the Wigan game. He's been very solid, going up and back both ends of the pitch, and yeah, he's definitely won me over. Last season, at the start of the season, I was a little bit iffy with him, but he's very much improved. So Ethan Laird, you're staying. Now, moving on to Lee Buchanan, and this is a little bit of a hard one, because I feel really sorry for the guy, because last season in the Championship, of course, he had a massive injury, was out for a very long time, only came back like a few months ago, and I think on his 1st or 2nd game, got injured again, and he's now out until like the new year, or at least the new season. And don't get me wrong, he's a very good player, but he's very injury prone, and I think for that reason only, I think it's time to move him on if we can. It just hasn't worked out for him, because it's not his fault. He's just very injury prone, and it hurts me to say, because I really like the guy when he plays. But Lee Buchanan, I think it's time to go. Christoph Clara, what can I say about this man? How this man was not in team of the season, it is beyond me. How this man is not League One player of the season, it is beyond me. He is probably the best defender I have seen at Blues, and this is League One. I genuinely believe next season he'll be solid again. He's going to play in the Premier League one day. He just is, because he's that good. Honestly, I could sit here all day and talk about Christoph Clara. It's unbelievable. He's the best defender we've had in years. Without a doubt, he's staying. Christian Bielik. Now, this is a bit of a of a tough one because he's very versatile. You know, he's club captain as well. But he's not better than the defenders we've got. He's not better than the midfielders we've got. So maybe he's a backup. But, you know, like I said, he can play defence. He can play midfield. I mean, he's played centre-back, right-back this season. He's played central midfield. He's played defensive midfielder. So he's a very good player to have in the squad. I'm going to say, and this is a tough one, just because of how versatile he is, he's not going to get a lot of games. I feel like he's just going to be there to jump in and cover players when they need a rest. But because of the experience, I'm going to say stay. Moving on to a kind of recently new player. I think he's only played like 2 or 3 times for us. Lee Myung-jae. Now, of course, we got him on loan in January for 6 months. So he's only on loan for 6 months. And he's only played 2 or 3 times. But when he's played, he's actually been very good. Of course, Cochrane, we're going to get onto him later, has basically played every game this season. Lee has... When he's come in, he's done the job, and he hasn't just done the job, he's excelled. He's done very good. I think he's very good going forward. He's very good coming back. Of course, he's got plenty of experience. He's played for Korea before. And I know it's only 6 months, but I wouldn't mind taking a risk on him. If the money is right and we're sensible with it, I wouldn't mind making it a permanent deal. So Lee Myung-jae, I'm going to say, within reason, sign him. Alex Cochrane, I can't describe this man in any other words other than reliable. And he's absolutely... I don't know, like I said, he's played every game this season with Buchanan being injured. And other than the Newcastle game where we kind of struggled against Osula because Osula is just an unbelievable player, Cochrane has been absolutely amazing. So Cochrane is definitely one of the best left-backs we've had in years, maybe since Darren Murphy. He's definitely better than Pedersen ever was. So Cochrane, you're going nowhere. Stay. Alphonse Samsted. Now this is a little bit of a weird one because the way we signed him, it was weird. He had a contract clause. So if we don't get relegated from League One, we have to sign him. So we was never ever going to get relegated from League One, so we have signed him now. A pretty fairly decent backup to Laird. You know, he scored his first goal the other game. I was very happy for him. And when he has played, he has been solid. You know, don't get me wrong. He's not first choice. He's not going to be first choice. Laird's got that spot cemented down pretty safe. But Samsted, he's okay. He's a good backup. I like him. We'll keep him. Ben Davis. Now, this is definitely a loan that we need to make permanent. Do everything we can to make this permanent. When we signed him, so many people on Twitter were like, oh, he's old, he's this, he's that. He's been our best defender other than Clara. Him and Clara have been the best partnership we've had in a very long time. Ben Davis... definitely need to make that one permanent. He's absolutely unreal, especially for the age he is as well. And he can play on left back if we need him to. Ben Davis, sign him now. Grant Hanley, he's only here for 6 months, so we're not going to be signing him. I think he's only basically been here just to kind of cover the injuries because we had a few. But he's done the job, you know, helped us get to the Virtu Trophy final, which, yes, we lost. I know, don't rub it in. But he's done the job. When he's played, he's been solid. He's been the perfect cover. We're not going to keep him. So it's been nice, but yeah. Grant Hanley, I can't really say get rid because he's going anyway, but yeah, Grant Hanley, decent player. Right, so that is all the defenders out the way. Let's move on to the midfielders. Right, so starting off with the midfielders, and we've got 8 of them to talk about, so we might be here for a little while. We're going to start off with Mark Leonard. Now, Mark Leonard has been absolutely... He's been a good squad player. He's played 45 times for us. The majority of them have been coming on as substitutes. But when he has played, you know, to cover Paik or Iwata, he's done a very good job. I think he's very good going forward. I think he's very creative. I like him when he comes back as well. I think he's a very good player. We did sign him from Northampton on a 4-year deal. He's played more since January. In January, I kind of felt a little bit sorry for him. I was like, okay, he might go or he might leave just to get more game time. But he's had more games since January. He's a good player to have in the Championship. I feel like he's very creative. He's very young. He was very good at Northampton, so he's still got plenty of time to grow. He's not going to be a starter again. You know, that's Paik and Iwata's kind of position. But he's a good backup. I like him, and I feel like he's a good player to have in the squad. So Mark Leonard, you can stay. Moving on to the man, the myth, the legend, Paik Sung-ho. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how we've still got this guy anyway, because when we got relegated, I thought that he was going to leave. You know, he said he had offers from high Championship teams, but decided to stay. And when we started the season and the transfer window closed with him still here, it basically felt like a new signing. And this season has just been unbelievable. He's cemented his position. He's basically played every game. I don't know how he's not got injured, because Chris Davis sometimes doesn't know the word rotation. He's basically been a key player for the whole season, and he's just one player. Next season with Iwata, he could really tear the league apart. One day he more than likely will play in the Premier League for maybe like a small Premier League team. Like, I could see him at Palace, actually, you know, maybe at Palace or Bournemouth. I see Paik Sunko going there at some point. Let's keep hold of him. He's been an absolute star player this season. Paik Sunko, you're staying. Now let's move on to Keshi Anderson. Now this is a bit of a weird one, because League One is his bread and butter. He's absolutely amazing. He was alright in the Championship last season, but this year he's been unbelievable. But I do think we might need to move him on. When we get in the Championship, especially if there's talks of us signing Poku from Peterborough, if he comes, I feel like Keshi Anderson is going to be pushed aside. He's not going to start in the Championship next season. We're definitely going to start buying players in the wing, in the winger position. I feel like his time is up. He's been at us for a few years now. If we can get a good little bit of money for him, I'm sorry, Keshi, you've been amazing, but Championship, I can't see it. Keshi Anderson, it's time to go. Now, moving on to another difficult one, we've got Willem Willemsen, because at the start of the season, he was amazing. You know, his goal against Wycombe was unbelievable, but then he kind of got injured, and since he came back, he hasn't really been on it. The last few games, like 2 or 3 games, he's kind of got there. It's going to be a difficult one, because if he doesn't start off that well, I'd maybe loan him more than sell him, just to try and develop him a little bit more. It's going to be interesting to see how he does in the Championship. You know, Championship is a very tough league. So I'm reluctant. I'm not saying sell him. I don't think he deserves to be sold. But let's just see how things go so far. I'm going to say, Willem Willemsen, you can stay. Moving on to Taylor Gardner-Hickman, and this is an unbelievable signing. Of course, we made this one permanent, and I'm really glad. He's played basically everywhere. He's played on the wing, he's played central midfield, he's played right back, he's played left back. He's basically done the job wherever we need him to, and he's already got tons of Championship experience. Of course, he was at Bristol City, he was at West Brom, and you know, I just like the energy he brings to the team. He's a very good player. He looks like a really nice guy, and yeah, I think he's a good player to have in the squad. Like I said, can cover multiple positions. Taylor Gardner-Hickman, you're a great player. You are staying. Tomoki Iwata. Do I even need to talk about this guy? This guy scored his first goal in the box the other day. Yes, I think he scored like 5 or 6 goals all season, and only one of them have been in the box. He only scores bangers. Him and Paik, I don't know how we've got the two of them, because together they are absolutely unreal. Tomoki Iwata should not be playing for a League One team. And next season, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how him and Paik do together again in that midfield. If he can hack it, if he can really, you know, stand the Championship, then those two in midfield are really going to be a force to be reckoned with, and we're really going to dominate a lot of performances. Tomoki Iwata, it's never been a question. You are staying. Luke Harris. Those of you that know me personally know how much that I don't dislike the guy, but I'm really not impressed. I'm glad he scored his goal against Barnsley. You know, he looked really happy with that. But for some reason or another, I just don't think it's worked. I don't think it's right. I don't actually know what his best position is. A lot of the loans we've got this season have gone well, but I wouldn't take a risk on Luke Harris. It's just my personal opinion. Luke Harris, it's time to go. Now, moving on to the last midfielder, and it's another loan from Rangers, and it's Kieran Dowell. Now, again, this is a little bit of a sticky one. Kieran Dowell's been good. Don't get me wrong, he's been very good. But are there better players out there that we can buy? Obviously, with the Championship, we've got a little bit of money to spend. We can't spend too much, but we've got a little bit. If we can get him for the right price, I wouldn't be against getting him. I wouldn't spend maybe more than 4 million on him, maybe even 3 million. But if we can get him for a decent price, I'd keep him. So Kieran Dowell, maybe, within the right price, you can stay. Right, we are finally moving on to the strikers, well, attackers. And there's 6 players here. So we're going to start off with Emil Hansen. Now, Emil Hansen, I feel a little bit sorry for. At the start of the season, he did very well. You know, he almost scored an absolute unreal goal against Reading on the first game of the season. But since then, he's been absolutely plagued with injury, and I don't know. I feel a little bit sorry for him, but he hasn't really impressed me since he's come back from injury. This one hasn't worked out in my opinion. Maybe send him out on loan and see if he can learn English football a little bit better. But if no one wants to take him on loan, then Emil Hansen, it's time to go. Moving on to Alfie May, and what an absolute hero. Of course, he's basically been like the top goal scorer or thereabout for the last 4 years now. So he's a goal scorer, but the question is, can he step it up in the Championship? That's going to be the risk. Let's be honest, he ain't going to be first choice. That's going to be Stansfield. But I'm pretty sure May can at least get at least 5 goals in the Championship next season. He's going to be a good backup. I do think we need another striker. It's Alfie May. How can you not love the guy? Alfie May stays. Moving on to Lukas Jukovic, and it pains me. It breaks my heart. There's no discussion here. He is going. He's retiring. I'm glad he's staying on at some point. You know, he's going to do some role at the club, although we don't know what that is yet. It breaks my heart, but Jukovic, it is time to go. You've said it yourself. You're retiring at the end of the season. What a legend. Now, Scott Wright, that's a bit of a difficult one because his winner against Wigan at home was amazing. The limbs was absolutely beautiful. But he's a little bit injury prone. If he can stay fit, I really like the guy. Don't get me wrong. I really do like him. If he can stay fit, I'd love him. I'd love him to stay. You know what? I like the player. And just for Wigan alone, I'm going to go. My heart's kind of biased here. Scott Wright, you can stay. Moving on to Lyndon Dykes. And personally, I'm not a fan. You know, he was signed by QPR to do the job that Jukovic does. And he just doesn't do it anywhere near as good, I'm going to be honest. He's a hold-up striker. He was a little bit unlucky. You know, he did get nastily injured at Reading because their pitch is awful. I don't know, QPR were in talks, really, of wanting him back. So maybe I'd just send him back to QPR. He gave us the memory against Bradford, getting us to Wembley. But he's just not my type of player. I know a couple Blues fans like him, but he's just not for me. Lyndon Dykes, it's time to go. And moving on to the last player in the squad, we all know who it is, Stansfield. You are amazing. You are absolutely not going anywhere. You are going to play for England one day. You're going to carry us to the Premier League. And I do believe if we ever do sell him, it's going to be for at least 30 million at least. He's basically smashed the league this season. People say, oh, he scored penalty goals. I don't want to hear it. He's been the best forward in the league by far. I don't want to hear it. And he's going nowhere. He is the future of this football club. So Jay Stansfield, you are going nowhere. You are staying, son. Now, we've got a couple of players that are out on loan. I'm just going to go over these quickly. Some of them I'm going to talk more than others. And yeah, let's just jump into it. So first off, we've got Emmanuel Longello. I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's got a future at the club. Manny Longello, get rid of you, mate. You can go. Ramel Donovan, it's a little bit of a hard one. For some reason, he's not playing for us. I think he's got an attitude problem, personally. Maybe that's what it is. If he can't break into this team, you know, he was getting in over Rooney. And yes, we've got Paik, we've got Iwata, we've got Leonard. He's not as good as them. But he was a very good player last season. And obviously, he spent quite a bit of time at Brentford and they want to sign him. So if Brentford want to give us 5 million or more for him, they can have him. If not, then I'd keep him and send him out on loan again and try and fix his attitude and see if that's the problem. So that's a bit of a tough one. But Ramel Donovan, for the right price, it's time to go. George Hall, I'm going to be honest, it hasn't worked out for him. He's been very injury prone. It's time to go. Tyler Roberts, again, I don't know why we signed him, to be honest. He was very poor last season. I don't think he's going to play for us again. Tyler Roberts, time to go. Brandon Keller. Now, of course, he scored this absolutely amazing goal against Charlton. He's been alright at Bradford. You know, they are basically getting promoted. I'm going to keep him. I'm going to say keep him and send him out on loan one more time. So Brandon Keller, you can stay, but go out on loan. Dion Sanderson, no. He will never play for this club again. He was absolutely awful last season. He's never going to play for us again. Sell him. Dion Sanderson, see you later. Alfie Chang. Now, it's a difficult one. Again, like George Hall, he's been very unlucky with injury. But I don't think he'll play for us. Alfie Chang, it's time to go. Now, finally, the last player that is out on loan is Ayumi Yokoyama. Now, he is probably the only player out on loan that I'd keep. For some reason, Chris Davis doesn't like him. I think it's because he doesn't track back and defend. You know, he stays at the pitch. He just wants to attack, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think he'll stay. I'd be a bit upset if we do get rid of him. I do like him. So I'd keep him. Maybe as a backup and player to bring on with like 10-20 minutes to go. So Yokoyama, you can stay. Now, that is pretty much everyone that there is to talk about for Blues. So yeah, there's the ins and the outs that I've done. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, Blues fans. Is there someone that I've said should stay that you guys think should go? Is there someone that I said should go that you guys think should stay? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. But yeah, other than that, if you did enjoy this video, then please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel while you are down there. And yeah, basically, thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you stick around and you won't forget it. Keep on.